So welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be doing a little bit of weight reduction on the 350. Now it's not a major bit, but you know, since I've had this, I've been carrying the spare wheel, which is a space saver. Now since I've done the Brembo upgrade, considering this car had the non-Brembo brake system, that space saver doesn't fit. So why am I carrying it? It's dead weight. I haven't used the jack, I haven't used a spare wheel. It's dead weight. Let's get it out. So what I've done, let me turn the light on and show you a little bit here. What I have done is strip out all of that spare wheel, all of the foams, and you can see you lose a lot of depth with those foams. Okay, you do have over here the amplifier system for your aerial and stuff like that, which I'm going to put like a plastic shield over before we cover it. Okay, this goes all the way up to where the harness goes up to, and obviously I've got my sub in the middle. So what we're going to do is we are going to cover all of this. We do need to give it a good clean out and a hoover out, which we're going to do in a second. I am going to be using acoustic carpet, which you normally use for bass boxes and stuff like that. And well, let's get to it. Let's give it a clean out and we'll go from there. Okay, so let's just give this a quick hoover out. Running two cameras. We're just trying to get all the little bits and pieces, so obviously when the carpet goes in, it clicks properly. Okay, that's cool, that's done. So something I'm not going to be doing, I was thinking about cutting out the where you hold the spare wheel down to, because I don't expect it to be carrying one. However, if I go on long journeys, maybe 3-day road trips or something like that, I may want to carry a spare, so I'm going to leave this in. We're going to cover over the top of it because I can always bolt a wheel down if I need to. I am also leaving a couple of little studs that stick out because you never quite know when they might come in useful. Like I say, we can undo these two here. Bolts out, and that just comes free, which is really useful. Right, so what we're going to do is, I think we're going to add it to one of these other bolts over here, or maybe bend it up. Can't bend it because it's a bit too strong. Okay, so I think we're just going to have to add it over onto this bolt. We're going to undo this bolt here, add that onto there to hold it still, and then that cover we make in a second, we'll just cover that all up and it won't be a problem. Okay, so let's just undo this 110mm here again. This will just get it out of the way. Now what we're going to use for this cover here, we're going to use a bit of Corex just to cover it over, so when we want to put our cloth over, it's not going to get in the way. Okay, line the bolt up, put the bolt back in. You might be able to actually, yeah, we'll use the corner one instead. Screwdriver. I don't want to take any of this out because as much as I don't really use the radio, it's nice to have it there if you need it. So we have cut out a bit of Corex that goes to the sticks to here. That's what we're going to do, that across there like that, and then we're going to stick another one over the top of here. So that means when we're going to cover this, it will cover nicely, and we're just heating up the hot glue gun now, and we're going to glue those down. Ah, you're still here. That's really cool. Thanks for staying. Hit that subscribe button, give us a like, and don't forget to check out our description. Well, let's get back to the video. So well, that didn't cut very well, did it? Get the scissors on there, finish it off with the scissors. We are going to let it go all the way to the end. And trim it afterwards. Right, let's take that piece out, we don't need that at the moment. So what we're going to do is we're going to spray that now. I'm using some extra strong carpet spray. Now I have used this on the red before and it works really, really well. Like I said, it's nothing to worry about because we've covered it anyway. I'm going to put a bit on the floor as well, and a bit on this part over there. Right, wait for that to go off a little bit. Put plenty on there to make it stick. You need to make sure it slides underneath here a little bit. See if we're getting tacky yet. Almost tacky enough, so we can start sliding it in. Okay, and now we're just going to push this down onto the edge to make the full box section. Okay, so we need a bit of glue down here. That bit looks a bit untidy, but that's fine. Again, we've got wiring everywhere. We're going to do what we can do. I think we may undo this. Just slide this up. Just to hold that in quite nicely. That's quite a nice finish to that. I need to put a little bit here I've missed, didn't see. Put that clip back on in a minute. Like I say, it's not the tidiest part about there, but it's not too bad. We can add a section in there, it won't notice. It's very much out of the way, so this is not going to notice as a add-on section. That's my fault for cutting it too short. The lovely thing about this carpet is it hides a multiple of sins, really. That's why it's used for base boxes and stuff like that. See, that looks fine, not a problem at all. We're not worried about getting the plastics, we're going to clean the plastics off after. What we're going to do is just lay a nice bit down, okay, and then we're going to glue that into place. Once that's gone off, we'll start making the trimmings. So we're going to lift these plastics because it will slide underneath the plastics, and the same thing underneath this one as well because it will all slide underneath. But we just want this to go tacky first, which is not quite tacky yet. Like I said, we've got the base shape, so what we do is we'll start sliding it under. Right, because what we need to do is we want to get that perfect line we want up the top. It's hard to set up when you've got a camera in your hand, obviously, but if I don't, I can't show you guys what I'm doing. We have our main section to do it. Now, this is quite a large section, but we still have way too much carpet. So what we need to do is push our carpet in and trim to what we need. So obviously we don't need to come right across because we've got that side section, haven't we? So that's about the width we need. If you look, when that's from there, that's the width we need, so we need to cut some of that. Okay, so what we're going to do now, that's roughly pushed in there, we're just going to trim across here. So what I think we might do is, we might take this off, okay, take this section off, so we can pull the carpet up here, we can glue it to the wall, it's not going to come down, and then, then we can just trim afterwards where we want it. As you can see, we're now left with very little in here. We do need to slide this off, so we can try to unclip this. Let's just take this off that's held in there, but that's not got one on. That one's unclipped. We should, there we go, be able to take that one out. Let's move this cloth out of the way. Can we do the same for this side? Let's pull the liner off first. Right, so we've got a couple there that we need to undo. Not the best way of doing this, but like I said to you, I'm holding the camera, so it's hard for me to do it another way. Right, they're unclipped. And hopefully, there's the clip going, there's one. Hopefully we should be able to, oh I forgot this one. There's one down here that holds this on. There's another bit, hopefully, there we go. And there goes the other piece. Right, keeping all of our parts in one place. Right, so now it's a lot more simple, because now we can push all of our carpet where we need it, on both sides. So look, what I'm saying here, is obviously we can now push this carpet right down into here, and we can glue it to the wall here, and then we can trim afterwards. So let's get that part done. So we're just going to lift this back up again. Now we only glued to about there, so again, in with our spray glue. Move our carpet out of the way again. In with our spray glue. Even on this back wall section. Okay, we're going to leave that a few seconds to go off. Like I said, this will all come off, it'll look fine. Okay, so let's just push it down. It's not waiting obviously for it to go tacky, but we can just like layer this, get it as smooth as we can to these edges. Then we've got to sort out obviously the bump in the centre and what we're going to do with that. And we're right back here pushing against that back wall. See, I think that looks fine. I don't want to do anything else with that. I'm quite happy with the way that sits. So what we're going to do now is pull this to one side and more glue. So you can see that bit didn't stick before, so let's make sure that bit sticks before we, because there's no point in sticking anything to it if it's not going to stick, is it? Okay, so we'll move this across. How far did we go to glue? Quite far. Okay. Again on the back wall. Okay, we was making sure this bit stuck down. That bit's sticking. We'll do another bit on there. Now we can start pushing our carpet in place. Like I said, don't forget we will be trimming this back in a moment. This is not how it will sit. Let's try sorting the floor first, because it's the most important section. We've got loads and loads of carpet bunched up here and creasing, as you can see. So lift it up. Right, so again, I'm pushing against this back wall. When I say there's a lot of spare carpet, there's obviously loads and loads of spare carpet, because it doesn't go all the way back here, does it? Because we've got those side bits to go on. Right, so at the moment I think that's stuck. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to just trim off down here, try to clean this off a little bit, and then put this section back together again. Some of it tucks, so we're going to trim some of this back, see if it will tuck. That tucks quite nicely, and then we don't need a lot of this. I think we can probably use the boot all trimmed out, so you can see, like I said, we boxed out this section where the amps are. It's all gone across to this section, all the way back there, all the way back here, and cut through and trimmed. And like I said, it's not a level boot because obviously I've left the studs in. It's not a flat boot. I didn't want to put any extra weight in by putting a false floor in. I still have the part there to bolt the wheel down to if I want to. I could just poke a hole in that and put a bolt through to hold it down. Overall, I think it's brilliant. Exactly what I wanted it to do. I did mention earlier that I had retrimmed where the speakers go. I've actually removed all the plastics that go along here, and I've replaced it with the red checker pattern that goes obviously in the center console. So this has now been brought up across here. The sound is a lot better because you haven't got anything blocking my sub in the back.